On a night when the Charlotte Hornets simply wanted to give it to the New York Knicks for at least 3 quarters, what I'm talking about is give them the game, they found a way to put the clamps down in the fourth quarter, rendering the Knicks scoreless for about a 4-minute period in the fourth quarter and coming up with a 101-92 victory. Ryan Hedrick and Anthony Morrow on the post game presented by ADSN. Anthony, what a victory for the Charlotte Hornets. We talked about one of the keys to the game, the victory for the Hornets, holding the Knicks under 100. They did just that.
Definitely. They played great defense down the stretch. They couldn't really make shots the first 3 quarters. Malik had a great game. Tony had a great game. Miles played really well. He had a great game. Billy had another double-double, including double-digit game. So it was great. They did a great job tonight down the stretch. They held the defense down until they made some shots, and then they blew the game wide open.
Now, ADSN spoke exclusively with Malik Monk after the game. We asked him about that big fourth-quarter performance. Explosive performance in the fourth quarter. You really turned it up when the team needed you the most. Had to feel good to get that victory.
Yeah, for sure. Felt great, man. I've been staying in the gym a lot, working on my shot too. So it was gonna fall at some point. I'm happy it was able to fall tonight.
Coach had high praise for you. You said that both you and Miles are working out really well, and you talked about the extra work in the gym. Can you feel it paying off when it comes game time, and how is it paying off specifically?
You feel more comfortable. Your shots, everything feel way more comfortable out there after you've been in the gym a lot, and just repetition. You get a lot of reps in, it's gonna feel the same every time. So I'm gonna keep that up.
Well, Coach Borrego, Anthony, had high praise for Malik Monk and the bench at large. The bench had 53 points, more than half of the team's total. Let's listen to Borrego.
Well, that's when we're at our best. You know, our depth is our strength, really. When you look at our group, for us to get this done this season and become a better team than we are right now, it's the depth of our team that's going to get it done. When we have double-figure scorers, that's when I'd say we're at our best. Now, tonight wasn't the prettiest game, but I think in general we got it done with our depth. You know, it wasn't one guy carrying us. I mean, what was our high score tonight? Our high score was 15, you know, so it was spread out. Obviously, we want to score more than 101 points, but I think it just speaks to our depth right now. We're trusting our bench, and right now we're playing pretty well there.
So Anthony Borrego was exactly right. The bench stepped up in a big way and helped them. What was the key to the bench's energy tonight?
I just think for them off the bench, you got to have at least 3 or 4 guys. I'm starting to see a trend. You see 3 or 4 guys scoring double figures, and you see a guy like Malik Monk really catapult that offense and push the pace. That's something that Coach Borrego talked about with him, and staying focused defensively. A lot of times with young players, they don't see the plays coming. They can't anticipate defensively the screens, you know, and the trick plays in this NBA is, you know, is ridiculous. So I think he's doing a better job of staying focused defensively, seeing plays before they happen, and a lot of that has to do with scout report, locking in on film, and just coming to bring it every single night.
I asked you off the air, how difficult is it for an NBA player to stay ready who's not getting the minutes, who is well capable of producing on any given night with the given minutes? And you said it's extremely difficult. Talk to us about why Malik Monk is succeeding right now.
Because he's focusing. I can tell. I can look at him when he's playing. I can look at him when he's warming up. I'm looking at him, watch film before the games. Just little stuff I've been seeing that, you know, he maybe wasn't doing last year. So this year he's taking the reins. He's taking the reins. He's taking his job more seriously this year. And, of course, he's going to score the ball. He's going to be that guy off the bench that can score. He can roll out the bed and score 20 to 25 points. But it's the other part of being a professional that I see him really locking in on.
How much depth and just versatility did the Hornets display tonight? 2 players with 11 points, 2 players with 14 points, and 2 players with 15 points. Boy, that is incredible sharing of the ball, Anthony.
Yeah, Coach Borrego has been doing a really good job in terms of the brand of basketball they're playing. A lot of penetrate, a lot of kicking, a lot of space out there. They're getting threes, wide open threes. Kemba's getting so much attention. It's opening up things for guys like Malik, for guys like Miles, for guys like Tony Parker. And those guys are getting penetration. It's hard to guard them.
The Charlotte Hornets, stop me if you've heard this one before. 1 game under 500 now, 24 and 25. It's just, does it become a mental game at this point for the Hornets to get to and stay above 500?
It definitely can turn into that, but it shouldn't turn into that. I think that if they stay focused, continue to play like this off the bench. Kemba didn't have it going tonight. Other guys stepped up in his place. You know, when Kemba's going to normally have it going, you get other guys off the bench. They can beat a lot of teams.
You know, it's interesting about the New York Knicks. I watched Cantor on the end of the bench. Didn't look very happy. And I was talking to a couple of writers between quarters, grabbing some popcorn and some soda. And I asked them, what's the real deal with Cantor? And they basically said that the Knicks don't want to play Cantor because of the fact that they're basically shopping him. Yeah. Now, I don't know what's going on in that locker room, but you can see the Knicks have enough to win ball games. Yeah. They just kind of imploded in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, you know, a lot of guys have to stay focused. And it's hard when you're going through what he's going through right now. Obviously some off-the-court issues as well. So, you know, I talked to him before the game, and he's keeping his head right. But I played with him in Oklahoma City. I know when he's frustrated. But I think overall he'll be fine. I think, you know, if they are shopping him, that's the business part of the game. We all have to deal with that at some point. And I think that he's going to be okay. I think when he gets out of here, get his mind right, get his head cleared, he'll be fine. I just hate the fact that he loves New York. He wants to be here, or he wanted to be here, and now he's going through this. So being a professional is about everything that comes with it. He'll be fine, and he'll be back on his feet.
Keep a close eye on Kemba Walker. He played 35 minutes tonight, was 5 of 16 from the field, and I don't know, Anthony, he just looked out of sorts. He never really caught a rhythm.
Yeah, he did. He couldn't really. I think they were hedging the pick and rolls on him, and he was pushing them all the way back. But I think he was getting so much attention, he was swinging the ball to Malik Monk on the other end, on the other side of the court. Malik and Jeremy were getting a lot of just penetrating and kicks, and they getting to the basket, getting fouls, drawing fouls, scoring. So even though he didn't shoot well tonight, he definitely caused a lot of attention and opened it up for his teammates, and that's who he is.
Kemba Walker getting a great ovation before this crowd of 13,963. And he's an all-star. Obviously, for the first time, he's a starter, a 3-time all-star. He's so gracious, and he's so humble by the opportunity, and it's not a show. It's not a facade at all. You know Kemba very well. Take us behind the scenes at his personality, who Kemba Walker really is.
I mean, he's just a selfless guy. You know, worked out with him in the offseason. You know, played pickup with him, worked out with the Hornets with him before. I just seeing the way he treats his teammates and seeing the way he treats his friends and his family, the way he's embraced Charlotte. I love the way that Charlotte has embraced him. He deserves to be an all-star. He's a hard-working kid, and his energy rubs off on people on and off the court. So we're really proud of Kemba. Me being a Charlottean, I'm proud of Kemba.
All right, here's what we know about the Charlotte Hornets right now. They're 24-25. They beat the Knicks by 9 tonight. They win the season series. By the way, this is the third and final time that the Hornets and the Knicks will tangle. And after that big implosion by the Hornets in December where they lost a 20-plus point lead, were walked down in overtime 126-124. The upcoming schedule for the Hornets really is kind of favorable when you look. They have 3 of the next 4 at home. They do have Boston on the road. Boston's always tough. What is Kyrie, and how does Kyrie present a challenge for the Hornets?
A lot like Kemba, Kyrie is one of those guys that demands attention. He has an unbelievable handle. He can make shots. He can score. And he's a better passer than I think people give him credit for. They're like 5th in the East right now, so it's going to be a great challenge, but it's going to be fun to watch him and Kemba go at it. I love watching him play.
It's going to be a dogfight, and you were talking very adamantly about the East. You said the East is no slouch. You said this before the game. Said the East is tightly packed. It's compact. There's a lot of competitive play, especially given the fact that the Nets are emerging, the Celtics, the Heat, the Magic, the Pistons. There are 4 or 5 teams in the mix, and no playoff spot is guaranteed between the 5th and the 8th spots.
Yeah, it's competitive basketball. A lot of young teams, a lot of guys out there scratching and clawing to make it. A lot of great young coaches right now that are doing a great job. And, you know, that's what I said. It's not that much of a discrepancy between the Eastern and Western Conference. It's just about guys competing and staying the course the entire way. And Charlotte can definitely sneak in that 6, 7, 8 spot for sure.
So the Charlotte Hornets are 24-25. They beat the Knicks by 9. They go out on the road to Boston. Then they come home for Memphis and Chicago back-to-back. And for the Hornets, big play off the bench. 53 points. They had 2 players with 11 points, 2 players with 14 points, and 2 players with 15 points. I call that versatility and depth. For Anthony Morrow, I'm Ryan Hedrick. Post-game, the Hornets victors tonight over the Knicks. We'll see you on Friday. For Anthony, I'm Ryan. ADSN's coverage of the Hornets continues all week long at ADSN1.com.